Okay. Hey, I have 6 o'clock. It took me a minute there to figure out how to record this. So first time on Google Meet recording. So welcome everyone who is on here tonight. We've got I think nine, 10. So appreciate you taking the time to be online this evening. This will be the course overview for Management 425, which is going to be totally online here for the summer. And so, I don't know if I'll be. I may do something like this about halfway through the semester, but pretty much try to cover as much as possible tonight. And I will have this archived and available to view by everyone. And if you hear two dogs barking in the background, that's our little guys out saving us from the people walking on the street. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm a Zoom person, not a Google Meet person. So let me figure where I'm going to go presenting, and I think. I'm going to go to, yeah, okay, where am I going to? No cursing allowed. Let's see. No, not now. Let's see. We need, no, darn it. Okay. Okay, let me just do the entire screen. Entire screen. Let's just do it that way. Okay, let's just do it that way. Okay, let's just do it that way. What I'm going to do is go to the course homepage here on Moodle. And the absolute most important thing to accomplish is registering for Revel. I sent out a reminder email within the hour about this online orientation to the class. And as of that time, I had 22 out of the 31 students. I know I had one student add late, and I'll be sending him a code after this session tonight. You'll notice probably first thing that for an online course, it's pretty bare. This was I'm gonna go tell you a little bit about how the sausage got made, because I got assigned to teach this class late, and then on top of things, the book for 425 that Textbook Rental had was a prior edition of this Wild and Wild, no relation textbook. And so we had to scramble. Even there was no online materials available for the book that the Textbook Rental folks had. So we've got a brand spanking new edition for the summer semester, and when Connie Button returns to teaching this fall, then she'll have a new course prepped for her. So we will be using this Revel learning platform. This is where you will earn all of your points, all of your grade for the semester. So it's going to be extremely important to use that free registration code that has been sent to you. I owe at least one student a code. If anybody else is in that situation, please email me during this meeting or after the meeting, and I'll get a new code generated for you. But the most important thing is going to be getting registered for this Revel learning platform. Going to the course syllabus, your seniors, you're all, that's not the right one, Dave. Okay. Okay. Your seniors, you know the drill on syllabus talk on the first day. So probably I want to say no surprises here. Only good surprises. Nothing on the downside for you as you go through what probably might be, for those who haven't had me before, the longest syllabus that you may ever see in college. I kind of have a preamble there about we've had some stuff, shall we say, disrupt semesters from hot Ida to whatever in the heck happened with our network last spring that we still don't know the story on, even though those of us in faculty. So there's always a disclaimer that that things may change or be necessitated. Something like what happened last spring. It was unprecedented, and so I hope you came out of that unscathed. I tried to go the extra mile for my students, and most of my colleagues did. I did hear a few not so good stories, but we'll save that for another time. But some basic information. I will be checking in the office. I'm teaching 2 fully online classes, so I'm not scheduling any in-office hours unless some situation with you might necessitate that. We'll be open to that. Just a lot going on, shall we say, caring basically a lot involving caring for my elderly mom, who's not doing as well as we'd like, and having to sell her house if anyone is looking for a house in Hammond. Class times is basically whenever you want it to be. It's on everything is done through Revel, and you'll be doing work online and have all the materials online. Office hours, again, if the situation is necessary, I'll meet you in the office. Otherwise, we'll do it by Google Meet or Zoom. I just really need 24 hours notice in terms of scheduling for some other stuff going on, shall we say. Okay, so this is really probably one of the last principles classes you take because it is one shot on everything and anything international business. And for some time now, I've taught Management 351, the principles class, and I've taught a lot of higher level classes, but principles is important in terms of making sure you're grounded in management, no matter what your major might be, because all of these issues affect us, whether we're working in a major company or for a small business, whether we own the business, whether we're just a POD employee. There's a lot to be learned, and hopefully some good management, and not just management information, but just getting along with others information that will prove helpful in your career. And should you find yourself in management, then hopefully some of this lingers in the back recesses of your brain to become relevant someday when you're in charge of people. So this is a one-shot, anything and everything about international business. It involves global companies, how the global economy it has developed over time, how it works, how international organizations are managed, and what their strategy is, and how they handle personnel around the world. And so some very interesting stuff, but I'll temper that by saying it is a principles class, and you know what to expect. There's going to be a lot of terms and a lot of models and a lot of acronyms, so just be prepared for that. One thing I really do like about this Revel platform, and it very likely is a new one for you who've been used to MyLab and Connect. This is different, and there's some very, very good study aids built into this. And then I'll tell you some things that aren't built into it that work well in your favor. So this is the book we'll be using by Wild and Wild. Again, no relation. Wish I was, because it is a bestseller. But it was published this year by Pearson. So what I would say is, I know with these learning platforms and online classes, there could be some information out there, but I wouldn't trust it because this is a brand new edition of the book, and it has switched to this learning platform. So I would dare say anything you find out there for the old GroupMe or message thread may not be what you're looking for. So we'll see. It's a game of cat and mouse. The grading scale is the way God meant it to be, the 10-point must system, 90, 80, 70, hopefully nothing below 60 or in that thereabouts. There is a uniqueness to this because, again, got the class late. I had to get the materials late. I had to work with the Revell platform late, and I settled on just going with kind of not the off the rack course, but pretty close. I did not really add anything. In fact, I took out some optional activities that were there, and I messed with trying to change the available points. And to not mess things up, I stuck with what I initially came up with, which was 5,843 points. If you get 5,843 points, you got 100% in the class. That's the long and short of it. There are a number of activities that you will be completing throughout the semester. Your grade will be based on how many of those 5,843 available points that you can accumulate over the course of the semester. So it comes down to basic math, 52. If you come for an A, it would be 52, 53 or more points. A B, an 80%, 46, 74 points. If you looking at a C, 4,090 points. A D would be 60% of the 5843, so that would be 3,505. And then an F would be if you fail to accumulate more than 3,505 in terms of points for the semester. And again, I did take out some of the activities. I had a number of optional things to add back in, as additional assignments, and I chose not to. So there are some constants for each chapter that we'll be covering. But as a student, I think this is a key two sentences. You will note that among the activities for this class coming up on the next page, there are no tests, there are no projects, and there is no final exam. So God bless America. To do so, we would have had to have. They did not have test administration in Revell, which was to me it's a shortcoming. I like everything. Trust me, having worked with my lab and Connect for years, that's a great feature. This platform, at least as of right now, going live with the class, does not have it. I don't know if it's all books or just this Wild and Wild text, because it is so new on the market. But to administer test, it would have gotten really confusing with 100% online class. Would have had to administer test in Moodle. And as you know, Moodle is going to be going away shortly. So it's kind of like, okay, what do we do? And so I just took the course of least resistance. And also, I think this is an excellent test for you. No pun intended. But the level of work that you will need to do in here, I think, is senior level work. I don't think you're getting shortchanged in any way, not doing a test, not doing a project, not doing a final exam. So I'll stand by this, and written my professor, and positive course evaluations at the end are appreciated. But this was initially came by necessity, but the more I got into Revell and worked with it, I believe this is a very, very fair way to evaluate your learning and performance in the class. And honestly, it's pretty equal to the international classes I've taught in the past with other platforms. So that being said, let's go through this, because I know the points are going to be an issue, because it's not like, the quizzes are worth 1,000 points or something like that. If you go to the table, in table 2, there's going to be 17 chapters that we'll be covering. 17 chapters that we'll be covering total. So you'll have 17 chapter quizzes to take. Each of these quizzes is going to be worth 125 points. I will caution those of you, thank you, for if you are a repeat customer of mine from Management 351. No better compliment in the world of business than to have repeat customers. But let me caution you, there will be, this platform does not allow for the purge, which I've done in Management 351 and a few other classes taught in Connect in my lab. This platform does not allow for that. So in fact, when you look at the numbers of attempts, and then there's going to be point deductions for each additional attempt. So, and then also a 50% penalty for late completion. That's kind of the default. I went with that. I think it's fair, and you'll see when I get into the course schedule, you'll see how this is all going to be structured, and I think you'll be able to understand very well how this is going to work. Let me get back to the right window. Okay, no. Good. Okay. Did it without cursing. Okay. Could not teach computing. Okay. Let's get back to that part of the syllabus. Okay. So the Revell activity, the chapter quiz, you have, I think this is where I realized how it was structured, so that there was not really a necessity for multi-chapter tests. You have the chapter quizzes that you can attempt up to 3 times. You have chapter section quizzes. You'll notice there's like 76 of these. 76 of these. That means every chapter, it'll be whatever chapter 1.1's topic is, there'll be a quiz over section 1.1. There'll be a section over 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. Each quiz, each section, excuse me, will have a quiz attached to it. So, so be aware of that. The only thing there is not a quiz on is that appendix. That's the World Atlas. Some of you have already done that. I think that's a very good way to start with Revell. And so if you have a chance, maybe do that first. 76 of these chapter section quizzes, each of those will be worth 15 points. So basically, you're looking at the quizzes on the entire chapter being worth 36% or 22,125 points, and the module, the chapter section quizzes being worth almost 20% of the course grade, and 1,140 points. So if you look at that, there's the majority of the points, the points right there. In addition, you've got these drag and drop matching exercises, and these are only worth 1 point. I don't mean to minimize that, but it is, arranging in the atlas, arranging countries, arranging models, arranging terms. And so these are very good reinforcement activities in addition to being required. They just don't constitute a significant part of the course grade, but you still will need to do those. You don't want to leave in a situation like this. You don't want to. Zeros are bad. Zeros are bad, even if they don't, even if they're not, even if each activity is not worth a great deal. The mini sims, these are management simulations. We do not have those for every chapter. There were some optional ones, and again, that's where I chose not to add any work to make your summer any more full, miserable, whatever the adjective you might want to apply there. So about every other chapter has a management simulation that's going to be worth 100 points. These are work till completion. So if you do these, you should do rather well. Same thing with the video assignments. There's one video assignment for each chapter. Watch a video, progress, answer questions, and so forth. That's actually going to be worth almost 30% of your course grade. So, and if you take the combination of the video assignments and the management simulations, it's not half, but it's about 40, close to 40% of the total. And so we get to the total of 5843. I have a little caution. Again, I'm a newbie using the Revell platform. I went with their point totals that they, and what I did not change anything in terms of what the each assignment, each type of assignment, each type of quiz was worth. I did come up with 5843, and I came up with 5844, 45. So depending on, in actuality, I think there was some rounding. I don't quite understand what was going on. But I'm going to say the point total to shoot for is going to be 5843. It could be off by 1 or 2 when everything is said and done at the end of the semester. But you're going to be looking at a percentage of the available points that you'll be earning. Now, if you're not totally confused, I hope this clarified things if you've read through the syllabus, but what I did was break down the points available by chapter, and this is where I came up, thanks to Mr. Excel, I came up with a different point total. So I think we're going to be right in that ballpark. It's going to be somewhere between 5840 and 5845, but I centered on that 5843 number because in several places that's what that was the projected total. But when I actually did the spreadsheet totaling up the points available for each chapter, it came up, I think, 5844 or 45. So do be aware that could be a slight change there, but it'll all be out. All the grading will be done in Connect. I will do grade syncs between. Excuse me, I think I said Connect. I will all your work will be done in Revell, and then I will sync grades back to Moodle. I'm going to be a little cautious. I know based on the numbers of grades and so forth, I think we may just be able to keep your average and the weighting in Revell until the end. I will do a grade sync after the first set of assignments are due, and that's next week, so we'll talk about that. But all the grades will be in Revell, and then there's a more detailed. I had to calculate this just to be able to set things up. So that's where we came up with 5843 as the potential maximum points to be earned, and then what the percentages were. And then this last line is just saying, if you look at what each assignment is worth, if you look at what each assignment is worth in terms of your course grade, then that's calculated there. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that in terms of how that flows point wise. Way too much time on the calculations, but it's necessary. I did provide you this cheat sheet in the syllabus even before we're going to turn our attention to the course calendar. But this outlines what chapters, what activities will be due at what time. Having been a Connect person and a MyLab person, I now understand some students working on platforms where all the assignments were due at the same day of the week at the same time. This is one of those, and so all the assignments will be due on Thursday evenings at 11:59, and I would assume that is a hard out, that at 11:59 that will shut down, and so do be aware of that. In terms of the remainder of the syllabus, we've just got the policy E's where you need to go through and check off each of the university policies that apply. I think we're at 12. We may have more, we may have less. The face covering, not so much, but we'll see. We'll see. But you need to do that. And again, it's not just for this class; it's for each of your classes. Let me switch here just for a moment to the day-by-day calendar. I do this. I hope you'll rely on this. This is something I started doing a number of years ago, and for those of you that again are repeat customers for Management 351 with me, thank you. And this will look familiar. I did make a few changes this semester in terms of particularly since this is an online class. I've highlighted the yellow are class due dates, and so you'll see that the first due date, drum roll, sneers and jeers, the first due date is a week from tonight. A week from tonight. So that's why it's going to be absolutely essential that you get into Connect. Damn, I'm sorry, I'm a Connect person. If you get into Revel and begin reading the e-textbook, and also that you begin working on the various activities. And again, I might, not start out. I definitely would not start out with a chapter quiz. I would definitely start out with maybe the video, the drag and drops, the matching exercises for the chapters, and then get into the areas where you're limited on attempts, and you do get penalized slightly for taking one of those quizzes a second or third time. So be aware of that. What I will do is every weekend during the semester, I will make a Moodle announcement and email to you just with a reminder of what you need to be focused on for the week. And you'll note on here, again, for the 351 students who are with me this time again, did I say thank you enough? Okay, thank you. But though I do include study tips here, so just so that you're on pace in order to be able to complete the work on time. And I've done that for the course of the semester. We do have some holidays built in. We've got the Juneteenth holiday for the first time on the 19th of June. I've got the academic checkpoints noted for that. That's mainly inside baseball in terms of some reporting that we do. The 4th, this actually worked out very well because with the 4th of July on Tuesday, that's going to be the Tuesday holidays are tough because for businesses, where do employees take off? When do a lot of people are going to be a lot of bosses will be at the beach and so forth. And so I know in this class and in my other class, tried to pace things. That's one reason I chose the Thursday due dates, so that you did not have anything due on anywhere near Tuesday, July the 4th. You don't have a due date time for what will be the 5th due date for Revell until Thursday, July 6th. And then that's also should not be correlated. Stress, it should not be correlated, but that will also be the drop date for the class. As we get through, you'll see again, every Thursday is going to be a due date for Revell. Most of the time, it's going to be 2 chapters. There's a couple of times where I did have to integrate 3 chapters, but very, very limited with the 17 chapters over these weeks. Getting to closing time at the end of the semester, you'll note that the final exams for the summer are on Wednesday, July 26th and Thursday, July 27th. What I did was just keep, and again, one reason that I chose Thursday for due dates and times, so that you could take your final, what will in essence be your final exam activity. That will be to complete the Revell work on the last 2 chapters that we'll be covering on Chapter 16 on international operations and Chapter 17 on basically HR issues in international business. So that is the syllabus and the schedule that we'll be working from. I'm going to let me do this. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. I'm going to just ask if there are any questions at this point before I take you on a little guided tour of what Revell has to offer, and why I'm pretty excited to be using this platform for the first time. With any computer stuff that you have to learn for the first time, a lot of hesitancy, but I do not see any chat messages. I don't see anybody turning on their microphone. So let's go ahead and proceed into Revell. If you saw my email reminding you of this session, just and again with instructions on how to register using the code for Revell, you can access Revell easily through Moodle. That's not going to be necessary if you already have a Pearson account, or after you register, you will have a Pearson account. You can use the Revell app. I have not personally downloaded that because I've been working on my laptop to get everything set up. But there is a Revell app available for free, and after you have registered using the code for this class to get into Revell for the Wild and Wild book, then you can download the app. And my belief is that you could pretty much complete everything in the app. I'm always a little cautious about test taking in the app for different reasons, not really security reasons, but that's a part of it. But just visually taking test quizzes on a phone versus a larger screen, a tablet, a laptop. So use that as your caution. But the Revell app is available to you, and once you register for it, you can download the app, and you may never return to doing stuff on the computer again for this class. Okay, so I think one thing is important here, kind of in the intermediate step. Don't mark Revel as done. You want to continue on to open Revel. I think the first thing we'll see here. Well, okay, this is okay. Click on the course. I I honestly had one course already set up, and then when I actually tied the course to Moodle, it created a whole new course. I had to redo everything, of course, that I had done in the prior. So the name is just the copy of the course. I'm at this point, since I'm a Revel newbie, I'm not going to change the name. I'm just going to leave it there because I want to make sure it continues to work for both of us, for all of us. So let's see. There is a way. Okay, let me open it as a student, so you don't. Trust me, nothing you could see on the administrator side probably would have helped. But you do have everything available here to you, and you can see. I can't tell you this why, but I assigned chapters 1, 2, and the 1 and 2 and the appendix. The welcome is actually the start of the. Well, I need to share my screen. Let's see, because I'm in Revel. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, let's go back to Revel. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll edit that out. No, I won't. That's just this way. Okay, so once you go into Revel as a student, you'll come up with what you need to do next. You'll also, and this only happened really with the, well, it did happen throughout, that there's a little jumble in terms of the ordering of the chapters. You'll see that like the welcome is just kind of like the preface and overview of the book, and then you go into, I intended it to be welcome, globalization today, which is actually the chapter. This is kind of like the prefix to the chapter. This is anyway. If you do all of this, you're good. But if you take it in order, it's actually going to be a little out of order. So just bear with me on that. But actually, your order would be welcome, the international business, the challenges of globalization, part 1, the global business environment, and finally, chapter 1 on globalization today, chapter 2 on ethics and social responsibility and sustainability, and then appendix A, which is the world atlas. And so if you do all those, you'll be good for Thursday, June the 8th. And then if you look going ahead, I went ahead. Again, I kind of did this as much for my sake as for yours. I went ahead and made everything available to you now, so you're free to basically work at your own pace as you go through here. But it's structured with the due dates. But you will see that everything is available to you to begin working on. So you can click on the different chapters and just go through and take care of things. So so do be aware of that. And again, I'm a little, what we're going to do in terms of how all this shakes out in terms of points, but it will end up being very, very close to that 58-43 mark in terms of what's available, and that's basically the rest of the book and the activities that are available to you. And I have taken the opportunity to go through and work through some of these, a good bit of the activities that you'll be doing, experience the reading that you'll be doing, and it's very good. It's very current. It's fresh material, and when you get to a 10th of edition of a book, that's often a challenge to do. I'll click on here with the study resources. Okay. Um, they they do give you some additional activities. They'll give you um, based on your performance, and again, we're at the beginning stage here, but they'll give you topics to review. You also have a number of resources available to you that are in the form of, let's click on chapter 1 on globalization. One thing that you know, I'm amazed in 2023. I still see, and God bless you, it's the way we did things when we walked uphill through the snow to college. In my day, I still see students working with 3x5 index cards, making flashcards, and God bless America, it's all done for you here. You can basically go through, learn all the terms, stand alone, away from actually reading the textbook. This is excellent, excellent review before you would go to take one of the chapter quizzes. So I strongly recommend that. There's matching that you can do. You can also, mark favorite terms so that you're only matching the terms that you might find that you're having difficulty with. There are good resources here. And then on the multimedia, you do have some additional, and then this is just from the book, from the ebook, shall I say, but images, but particularly the key figures, And one thing I know from 351 is with the resources that are available there, I've seen students make up some very good, shall we say, study guides for reviewing, and then also for actually taking the assessments in the test, the exams, and in this case, it's going to be chapter quizzes. So you can use it, by the time, if you want to mash up something for yourself, share with your classmates, make some friends. You've got all the figures and tables from the book. You've got the key terms. You can make up a very, very good study guide for yourself. You can do the matching and flashcards online. So this is some newfangled stuff, and use it to your advantage. So with that being said, we're down to 6. Yeah, thank you. I fixed. I'm a Zoom person. I'm being dragged into Google Meet, kicking and screaming. But I know my Zoom commands, and as you can tell, I'm probably a B at best on Google Meet. So it's an interesting area to look at for what will almost be 2 months. I hope you get a lot out of it. Hope it generates some interest in perhaps looking at the international aspects of your career. You can be much more informed on global trade and global affairs, and understanding some of the global issues that all of us are faced with today. I mean, we're a very interdependent world, and when the supply chain in Asia gets sick and stops working, then we all suffer, and vice versa. When Americans stop stop spending. So so it is a very interesting course. I'm not going to say there are some chapters that are going to be challenging to you. There are some chapters that are definitely going to be challenging because we're going to deal with if you're not strong on some numbers, some of the international finance and economics will be a little challenging, but it's not the bulk of the course. So we cover you cover a broad swath of international business in this probably the last of your principles classes that you'll have to take in the college. So with that being said, any questions, audio or via chat? Okay. By the time this is my third orientation session. I'm getting, believe it or not, I'm getting better at this on Google Meet. I didn't record yesterday's. There may have been a curse word slip by when I couldn't share my screen right, so didn't do that tonight. Okay, so if you need anything over the course of the semester, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me. Between teaching 2 online classes and then also working on research with some colleagues and managing a couple of websites, and then there's that social media thing. I'm online more than I know my wife would like me to be, but here we are. It's 2023, so email I do check several times during the day. I do check on the weekends. So if you need anything, that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. If you do need to set up a meeting, we can do that in person. We can also do it via Google Meet or Zoom and do that very conveniently. So I'll leave it there. That's all I've got. I've got an orientation session with, my Management 351 students. Assuming there's no overlap here between folks taking me in 351 and 425 at the same time. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can use Moodle provides you with some tools that you can communicate with your fellow students. You could send an email to all. If you want to include me, then include me, but if you don't want to include me, then don't include me. Whatever you want to do. But I hope you have a good semester. I hope most of all that it will be a smooth semester. We deserve one after what happened last spring. So I don't want to be teaching an online class and have no online resources for weeks. So and none of y'all do too. So we'll just knock on wood and say and believe everything's gonna work properly, and so far so good. So get in there, get registered, get started reading and working in Ravel, and then the first due date time is going to be a week from tonight at 11:59. Assume 11:59 is again going to be a hard out, and you need to be completed. You need to have the activities completed by 11:59. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for your time and attention tonight. I will post this probably on YouTube and send you a YouTube link. And I don't know, I may watch it to see how bad it was, but better than yesterday. I'm getting better at Google Meet, believe it or not. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Y'all have a good evening. Hope you have a good weekend ahead. We could use a little rain. So hang in there. We'll talk soon. I'll be communicating with you via the weekly updates that I'll be sending out weekends, and then in touch with you as need be. So thank you for your time and attention tonight. I'm gonna see if I can stop the recording. Okay.